What's up, you guys? I am here. We about to get this party started. Attorney Pam is in traffic on her way, so she will come in when she when she gets herself settled and everything like that. But in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and get this party started. I know you guys were waiting. I know some of y'all, because I had to push the time back. That's part of the reason why I pushed the time back, because I wanted to, give her time to get where she needs to go and everything like that. But with that being said, we are here. We are going to talk about what was going on today down to the courthouse. Please, as you come in, hit that like button. Child. Oh yeah, I was doing some quick drops. Listen, I'm working, honey. I'm working. Okay, so let me share this video out before we get this party started. Please hit the like button as you come on in and take a seat. I haven't seen my head usher, Kenneth, in a few days. I'm sure he's busy, honey. I'm sure he's busy. But usually Kenneth is here to usher you down to the front row. But you come on in and fill in, get a seat, Get a seat. It's 47 of y'all. We good, okay? We got plenty of seating. So let me speak to everybody. Oh, let me come on screen. How about that? Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all see me? I'm here. Y'all see me? I see you. We see each other. Okay. So let me say hi to my people, and then we're going to go ahead and just start getting, because I'm going to go over what I know about the trial so far, okay? What's up, Taurus? Hey, Star. What's going on? Hey, Lemon Kush. What's up, Miss Sharon? Mystic Rain. Hey, mwah. Marilyn. Hey, Kenya. Dominique. Tan. What's going on? Hey, Sam J. Hey, Jamil. Diva. Hey, love. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope all is well. Hey, C. Golden. Nikki B. Creative Diva. How you doing? Danny has goals. Yes, hit the like button. Yes. C. Golden really be out here like YouTube Santa. Really? What I'm doing? What's up, Sly Sylvia? What's up, Tracy? Hey, girl. Me and Tracy been talking all day, child. Tracy been sending me stuff all day. Tracy used to just send the stories, right? And I guess now that, she my producer, my showrunner, she be sending stories with commentary, okay? She adds her commentary to the stories, okay? What's up, Sims Overdose? How are you? I haven't seen you in a while either. I hope all is well, love. By the way, hey, April Girl, what's going on? I always want to say April Girl and it's April Glow. I don't know why I want to flip the O, the put an A in there and flip it with the L. But anyway, hey, April Glow, what's up? Hey, Sam J, you done with school just in time? Child. Doc Liquor Cam, Sharice, what's up, Goody Good Boys? Yes, Joshua. We got a lot of people in here today. What's up, Dougie Doug? Working hard to get the people what they want. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. What's up, Cross Country? Hey. I know I'm going to mess your name up. Moya? I know every time you come in, I say I'm going to mess your name up. I think I usually say it right, though. Some of the stories are just so crazy. Child, aren't they, though? What's up, Carissa? Hey, Mr. Brown, how you doing? Mwah, thank you. What's up, Jeremy? Hey, love. Please hit that like. Oh, I'm reading it. That's for y'all, child. We've been waiting. I know. Thank you, Moya. Yeah, I pushed it back from 8:30 to 8:45 because Pam hit me up and told me she was in traffic, and so I said, well, I'll push it back a few minutes, and then I'm gonna come in and talk to y'all, and then we're gonna do it like that. Hey, Drinks with D, thank you for becoming a member. I saw that you joined yesterday. Thank you so much. I haven't seen you in a while, but I see you on Instagram. So I hope you're doing. Chef Don, what's up, boo? Girl, my daughter lawyer says hi. She hears me listening to you. Hey girl, what's up, Kenya? Hey. So before we get started, since I haven't been here, we've been doing a lot of this. So it's time to pull a name. It's time to pull a name. So for those of you who are new here, this is my 12 Days of Christmas members giveaway. Tracy hates the Jack Daniels box, honey, but it's the Jack Daniels box. And today's prize is that you will be winning something from James Colwell's website, Chez Trésor. If one of my mods could drop the link to his website, CHEZ Trésor, TREZUR.com. If y'all could drop the link, you'll be winning something off of his website. Please, yes, Danny. Thank you. And when I send you an email back, because I told everybody the winners to email me. I'm going to email you back when everything is done, and you'll be on the lookout for it, okay? All right. Name is coming out. Let's see who won today. LaDonna Sutton. She's been a member for a while. LaDonna. I will have to put her name on the community wall because I didn't see her in here. But if you're in the clouds, drop down so I know you're here, love. Drop down so I know you're here. But you will be winning something from the Chez Trésor website. That is James Colwell. That y'all know that's my mother, that's my mentor, that's my friend. And so he has t-shirts and mask. Y'all know they said the numbers are going up, child. We want to start wearing the mask again. But he probably don't have a lot of masks anymore though, because I'm sure the demand went down. But he's got t-shirts and jewelry pieces and things of that nature. So you will be winning something from his website. Okay, that is the prize today. All right. Now, you know what, Tracy? You in the box. You just don't like the box. You just don't like the box. Oh God. Right, Tracy. You still have plenty of chances to win. We're only on that's day 5 of the 12 days. So you have you good, girl. You good. Anyway. So let's get into the things. Sly Sylvia said, I just knew it would be me. Child. We're gonna listen. You still wear your mask. Listen, a lot of people still wear their mask and they need to. But shout out to all my members. Look at this whole screen lit up in green. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. I owe y'all alive. I'm gonna try to get y'all alive this weekend and let y'all know what's been going on with me. There's a reason why things have been going on, and I have to let y'all know what's going on, child. A lot going on this end of the world, but I'll get y'all caught up. The Cahoots, the Christmas party, I believe, is going to be December the 23rd. And for those of you, if those of you who haven't been around or weren't around last year when we had our Christmas party, we have a good time. We play games, we play Cahoots. I give away cash prizes, so you win on the spot. And it's open to everyone. You don't have to be a member. It is open to everybody. And we just have a good time. I don't play Christmas music because YouTube be playing games with the copyright stuff. But yeah. All right, let's get into this. So, we know that at the trial today, Diva silly. We know that this morning at the trial, they played the 80 minute interview that Kelsey did with the um the prosecution. And then I believe there was a DNA expert for the defense. Defense started their case. The prosecution closed their case out, and the defense started their case. And from my understanding, their first witness was a DNA expert. Now, I really would like for Pam to break that down because, this whole DNA thing has been a question for a minute. Was Tory's DNA on the weapon? Was it not on the weapon? Yada, 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 yada. And so, um, I really want to hear her take on how that went and what, because I've heard conflicting reports about whether the prosecution, I mean the defense's expert held up whether that information was valid, right? It's from where I picked up, like I said, I want Pam to be able to give us that information. But from what I've picked up, it seems like that information is not accurate. That Tory's DNA was. I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna let her tell it, but I've heard some conflicting stories. Okay, so let me just rewind to Kelsey in this 80-minute interview. Yes, 80 minutes because they could not play an edited. Well, I can say they couldn't play, but I'm sure it was in their best interest to not edit it because I mean, imagine if they had played an edited interview. Then what? If you're the defense attorney, the first thing you're gonna say is, "Oh, well, they done sliced and diced this. They're making it look like it's not what it is." So you got to play that tape from the minute she walked in the room to the minute she left the room. Because if not, I mean, if I'm the defense attorney, oh, I'm slicing and dicing this child. You know what I mean? So from my understanding, she walked in. His fingerprints weren't on the magazine. That just means he didn't load it or he not wiped it off first. Right. That doesn't right. His fingerprints not being on the magazine doesn't mean anything. Okay, listen, let me say this to y'all. And I don't want to come off like I'm making excuses, but let's just think of this thing logically. Just because his fingerprints was not found on the magazine, all that means is that he didn't load the weapon. And the reality is he rich. He probably didn't load the weapon. Just like he probably doesn't wash his clothes and fold his clothes and wash his dishes. He probably doesn't make his bed. He probably doesn't do a lot of things for himself, right? So the fact that he would have a weapon that he may or may not have loaded himself, it doesn't change the fact that they found gunpowder on him, so he handled the weapon. You can't say he didn't handle the weapon. At some point, his body and hand came close. Tracy, don't do that. See, we got new people here. For all the new people that are here, Tracy and my OG tribe members, because I do my power reviews and all of that, they feel like I know a little too much about how it goes down in the drug game. And they think that maybe, back in my earlier days, the 80s and 90s growing up, that maybe, I was around some things. But don't listen to them. Don't listen to them, y'all. If y'all knew, don't listen to them, okay? Moving on. Oh, quick announcement. Um, is Xavier here? Xavier, if you here, drop down, babe. So Kelsey walks in. First of all, her husband is with her. For those who do not know, Kelsey is married and she is married. What's up, Peace? That's my girl right there. What's up, Peace, love? Peace, I'm gonna be in your neck of the woods tomorrow. I gotta order a cake. So you know where I'm gonna be. I told you I gotta order a cake. You know where I'm gonna be. I know way too many details. Hold on, y'all. Hello. That's Pam, y'all. She's still out. So she told me to just I'm gonna send her the link to her phone because I sent her I'm gonna send a link to her phone and she's gonna come on from her phone. So because she said she knows it's late our time and she wants to make sure that she gets the information. So I appreciate people. I appreciate it, y'all. So let me get her the link. And then she will be right on. Hold on, let me send her the link. Send me the number. Send her this link real quick, honey. And then child. Damn it. Me and this phone. I did this update on the phone and now it be giving me fever sometime when I be trying because it keeps trying to get me to set something up that I ain't really trying to set up. So I gotta bypass it. Okay. Okay, I think I did that right. Okay. Okay, it says delivered. Okay. Okay, so she comes in the room, and like I said, she's with her husband. Now, since this has happened, she has gotten married and had a baby. Now, her husband is a record label exec. Now, allegedly, they're saying that, and when I say allegedly, I just didn't do the research to confirm it, so I'm saying allegedly because I don't know this to be true. Allegedly, her husband is connected somehow to Meg's record label, and y'all know that Meg and her record label are fighting right now. All that I don't know to be true, but people are trying to connect dots. Neither here nor there. She showed up for this interview with her husband, and she had consulted with an attorney. So I'm saying that to say that she didn't walk in there under duress. She didn't walk in there not understanding or not knowing what was expected or what they wanted from her. What's up, Xavier? Yes, I was looking for Xavier. So the reality of the situation is they give you the foundation because she tried to make it seem like, oh, the prosecution pressured me into coming in here and talk. Now, let me say this to y'all. When I say the word 80 minutes, or I say the term 80 minutes, there's nowhere in the world that I can conduct an 80-minute interview with somebody and their answer is, I don't know, I don't remember, I don't recall. I don't know, I don't remember, I don't recall. Let me tell you that Kelsey's testimony was very detailed. Okay, she remembered everything. I was waiting for her to tell us what color Meg's toenail polish was when she got pow-powed. Okay, she had all the details. She detailed that car ride from the minute they got in that car to the minute she was arrested. And I mean, full detail. And her story lined up with, matter of fact, she gave us more details than Meg did. And Meg was the one that was assaulted. And her story lined up with Meg's story. I mean, give or take, you know what I'm saying? But nothing major. None of the story lined up. They got in the car. This was after they got kicked out of Kylie Jenner's house, child. They got in the car. Meg was giggling out of control, probably between alcohol and, sometimes you get the giggles. You just laughing and you can't stop laughing. And Kelsey was like, "Girl, what's so funny? Why you can't stop laughing?" And Tory was mad. Tory was like, "Yeah, what's so funny?" And so from that, Meg and Tory got into an argument. They got to arguing. And that was the first time that Meg was like, "Let me out. Get me out this car. Let me out this car." So they let her out by a bus stop. But Tory got out to talk to her. And whatever they talked about, she calmed down. Got back in the car. I don't remember all the details, child, but they got into another argument. Tory and Meg got to arguing again. And this is when Tory was sort of taunting Meg, like, "You ain't gonna tell your girl what's up? Like, Kelsey, you always been 100. Kelsey, you always been cool. Meg, you not gonna tell your girl what's up?" So you let me know when you're ready. I see you backstage. Let me know when you get yourself situated, Pam. So me too, Chloe. Me too. So he got the cussing Meg out. You ready, Pam? Oh, she's still adjusting. Oh, you good? Okay.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Meg. Lord, I done called you Meg. What's going on? How you doing?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. I know. Listen, I know you tired. know you are tired, child. You out there riding around in that LA traffic too, girl.
I said LA don't need to let nobody else live there.
Listen, I say the same thing about LA and Atlanta. Atlanta is closed. Don't nobody else need to go to Atlanta. We were in LA a few weeks ago, and child, it was a
Traffic
hot.
is
It was,
unbelievable. It doesn't matter what time of day.
and I was there on a Saturday, so I can only
Oh.
imagine rush hour and people going to work or whatever. But for those who do not know, we're welcoming Pam Esquire to our channel. She is observing the trial live with Pam Rice Esquire, but her YouTube channel is Pam Esquire, and my mods have been dropping her link, so you guys make sure that y'all are subscribed. She gives y'all and she breaks it down. Listen, Pam be pulling the pacer and be reading it to y'all and explaining as she's reading it. For law nerds like myself, I love it because I be like, they said what? They did this. But even if you just want the juicy, just if you want the juicy, she gets to the juicy, but she gives you the whole breakdown and explains it. And she has been going to the trial and have been giving us the insight. So I'ma shut up so she can give us the breakdown. Because the morning started with I was giving them the breakdown of the audio as I heard some other people. I was just being dramatic with it. So,
It probably
so,
was just that dramatic though. Just one correction. Rice is my maiden name, but my married name is Campbell. So you
so I'm
might
sorry.
see
Okay,
Rice
Pamela
Campbell.
Rice Campbell. Okay,
Yeah.
okay Rice Campbell. Okay,
You can take out the Rice. It's really Campbell, but yeah.
all right. So tell us what happened. So we started off with this audio. Now, what had happened? What had happened?
So, like I said yesterday, I thought the defense did very well, like the morning half, when they crossed Kelsey. I thought they did very well. And then in the afternoon, they kind of went a little overboard where they opened up the door, where now the prosecution felt like they had to basically preserve the integrity of their investigation because they were almost insinuating that the prosecution somehow coerced her or intimidated her or told her she was a suspect. And that's why she allegedly was saying all these things against Tory in September. But the audio was played. So basically, the audio wasn't going to come in. Okay. We only heard snippets, refreshing her recollection because remember, Kelsey don't know nothing. So it was
Right,
clipped. So today we actually heard the whole 80 minutes, which again probably wouldn't have been played if the door wasn't open. So it was
right.
played. And to start out, it was clear who was there. So she was there with her husband. And then she had two lawyers on the phone that were on speaker. So
Okay,
all of that, it took away the whole as if she was in some room with a bunch of
right.
attorneys and police officers. No. And then they had the investigator for the DA, she testified, to form a foundation before the video that it is what it is and all of that. And she was in there and it's depicted what she heard while she was in there. She was the one that formulated the foundation. And she said that Kelsey had her demeanor was she was fine. She was relaxed. She was pleasant. She was very professional. Her husband was cool. He was relaxed. Just taking away that myth that she was somehow felt compelled, like she was forced and pressured to testify or whatnot.
Right,
And she was. She started out. This is the first time you heard a really, really clear chronological story of what allegedly happened instead of people taking piecemeals here and piecemeal there, even what occurred in the car or how the fight. She said she actually did see the shooting when she talked to the prosecutor. She said, well, they call them the DA, we call them prosecutors in Michigan, but she told them that she first heard gunshots, then she looked and she looked and saw Tory shooting, holding the gun over the door. Like, you know how you stand outside your door, but your door is open, but you're not in your door. You're just kind of in between the car and the door. That he was kind of like
mm-hmm.
that, reaching over the door and shooting down. And that's when he said, she said, Meg. So this is how she describes the shooting. Just to back up so I'm not confusing anybody. She said, Meg's in my passenger side. She said that Quan was in the driver's side and that Kelsey was in the back and Tory was in the back behind the driver's seat. So apparently he told them to get out of the vehicle, use some choice words, told them to get out. So Meg and Kelsey were getting out. So mind you, this is the whole passenger. One was in the back, one was in the front. So they get out of the car. And then I guess they said somehow Tory made his way to the front passenger seat. And while they're walking, he reached over and she was able to see him basically shoot at her. And she heard the shots first, like two or three. And then she saw him shoot the other ones. And Meg turned around like a deer in headlights. So then Meg goes to basically sit down because she has these injuries. She goes to sit down. She said Meg was calm the whole time. She never really panicked. Kelsey said she was the one that was dramatic and was panicking. But she said she went and like sat down like on the ground or whatever. And I guess Kelsey went to check on Meg. And when she went to check on Meg, she went to check on Meg because she seen Tory coming towards Meg. So she went to check on Meg and to try to come in between Meg and Tory started assaulting her. So we saw pictures of a broken nail, broken necklace, all these pictures from the ground from this fight. And so then I guess Quan, that's when he picked up Kelsey and threw her like a rag doll, I guess, to break the fight up, and told Kelsey, you shouldn't even get into this because this is what they do all the time. This is how they act. So then I guess
he's insinuating that their relationship was volatile anyway.
That's what he was insinuating. Yes.
Okay.
So then Tory,
I can believe that.
Yeah. So then Tory goes ahead and he's still going towards Meg. So when Kelsey sees this, she says she gets in the car and she basically shifts the gear of the car to jerk the car so it would scare Tory and stop him from going towards Meg, which it did. And then I guess Tory came to the car and dragged Kelsey out of the car by her hair. So that's supposed to be where the bald spot, we've seen a picture in the top of her head, was from them dragging them out of the car. When all this stuff happens, they all get back in the car. And she kind of said she didn't think about calling 911. Adrenaline was up. She went and called, she was calling somebody.
The bodyguard, right?
She ended up texting the bodyguard, but she called somebody, Nazir or somebody before that. I don't have my notes in front of me. But she called somebody before then, and they didn't answer. She didn't get a signal. So what she did was she texted the bodyguard. And that's when she did. That's where you get the help 911. Tory shot Meg. So They're driving, but of course there's gunshots. So somebody called the police. So they're driving. The police gets behind them. And so Quan was just like, we're going to let the police pass us. So I guess they pull over. The police passes them. And then they see helicopters and lights and everything to pull them over.
I think that I think somebody in the neighborhood was the one that called the police. Because remember, they were going through I think they were in a decent neighborhood. But don't quote me on that. But I think I know they weren't in Kylie's neighborhood anymore. But I think they were still in, a decent neighborhood.
Yeah. So
I thought it was interesting that when I was listening earlier, I thought it was interesting that the driver was a lot more involved than I think that I knew prior to this.
Yeah, and I don't even know if he's even being called. That's the tripped out
part.
And
that's the part I'm not clear on why, because according to what Kelsey said, they're friends. Like he's not just his driver, like they're friends. And so why, even if he would be for the defense, I don't understand why he's not being called by anybody.
Yeah, but I think Justin, the one who got the text, which is Meg's bodyguard, I believe he's being called next week.
Yeah, I believe he's being called.
Yeah, but I don't even know what's up with that. And then, she in her, so she described it, and she basically said, Meg, the police came, she went to jail, Tory went to jail, Meg went to the hospital. From that point on, she said when she finally got out, she was there for some hours. She didn't recall them swabbing her hand for any gunpowder residue or anything. So she says she gets out, she goes to the hospital. She's calling the manager trying to check on Meg, but nobody is giving her information. She's constantly calling the team. Nobody's giving her information. And yeah, she was just basically she was basically left in the dark. She said her and Meg had just got this Airbnb. Meg had her give up her apartment from Texas and sublet it or whatever house she owned, and she was down there and nobody was telling her what was going on. She just kind of was getting ghosted. So then I think actually it was Meg's attorney that picked her up from the jail. She said her clothes were ripped up, so she gave her from the fight with Tory. So she said she gave her clothes to wear and all of that. So she trying to figure out what's going on, check on her friend, and nobody's even giving her information. So then she said next thing she knows, she hears that, well, Meg is really bad. She's not going to be able to walk for like a year, almost like we don't need your services type of a deal. So she said she responded and was like, well, I was thinking about maybe I should go back to Houston. And she said, but I was thinking, I find a place to stay. I get myself together first, whatever, because I done basically relocated and came here. And she
Right.
said they immediately sent her flight information for her to like be gone up out of LA. Yes, within 2 hours of her sending that. She said she couldn't even send the text. All she said was, I was thinking about going to Houston. She didn't even get a chance to tell them, like, what her plans were, that she wanted to be later. She said they
Wow.
sent her a text and was like, baby, these are your reservations. And then she said
Thank
she
you for
called
your
and was like,
services.
yeah. She said she called him, and
Wow.
when she was talking to him, she said, well, why is this happening so, so fast? Why do we have to do this so quickly? And they told her it wasn't safe for her to stay in LA.
Mm. Well, a couple of things in the chat. Lonnie said, and Lonnie said that according to Byron, who is following, you did the interview with him yesterday, who's doing the trial. They said that they can't find the driver.
Oh, wow.
You know, they can't find the driver. Now, Kelsey did bring up the money thing as well, right? That Tory did. She corroborated Meg's story that Tory did offer her money.
She did say that. She said what happened is she met up with Tory to get her stuff. She didn't feel comfortable. First, Quan called her and wanted to meet up with her and said at the studio. She said she didn't feel comfortable or safe. So she didn't want to do that. So then they met at a hotel in the parking lot. And she said that's when he apologized profusely again, like he did on the call when he was in jail. And
Right
he
on that call.
apologized and he said, well, what do you need? I can, what do you not give you both $1 million? And do you want a business that you want to start? Is there anything I can do? Like, basically, what do you want? And he said he worded it the way his attorney told him to word it, like how he was talking.
Mm. Uh-huh. See?
And she was so emotional, like she was crying and everything during this whole. That's why I said this sound more believable than her standing up there looking like, I don't know, I don't remember, I just want this to be over with, I don't want to be here. Because she was very, very she was crying. She said, I'm sorry. And she said it was interesting because she mentioned that before Meg put out the statement saying that she got shot and this and that, she said Meg contacted her and said, hey, do you want me to have you a part of this statement? She said, yeah, absolutely. And Meg didn't do it because, people were saying Kelsey was the one that shot her.
Yeah,
So
right,
that's
right.
that's really what bothered her out of everything, was Meg put out something and she didn't protect her. Then I guess Kelsey put out something and Meg was like, that wasn't the smartest thing to do. Why didn't you contact me first? So apparently a lot of her friends get permission from her before they put stuff out. So when Kelsey tried to do it to protect herself, Meg got upset and was like, why did you say it the way that you said it, and blah blah blah. So that was part of their disagreements. But she said she wasn't understanding why. She said we're supposed to be one unit here. Like, why would you do this? So then there was an issue. She said Meg was also pissed off because Meg and her team wanted her to come out on social media and say what happened. Like basically what you saw, what happened, tell people what happened. And I guess Kelsey says she contacted her attorney, and her attorney told her, well, Meg already said she's not pressing charges. Because mind you, all this time she said Meg was never hyped, she was never excited, she was always calm. She said she was the one hysterical and crying and stuff, and Tory telling her to shut up while they was in the car. So she was calm the whole time. So she said she was thinking, oh, I guess they cool. And so she was going. She was told, Kelsey was told they weren't pressing charges. So her attorney told her it's no need for you to go out there and try to, defend it on social media. So I guess Megan got pissed off about that. But the girl was tearful. She was like, she ain't understand. They had to stop for like 2 minutes to go get her tissue because she was crying. And you knew she was crying because you heard that all in the
Right. You could
audio.
hear all the sniffling and stuff. So let me say this, and this is all me. Again, this is not attorney Pam. This is really B. This all points to me that somebody got to this girl, whether it was bribe or threat. And the reason why I say that is this: if this interview had happened 2 years ago, then I could be like, well, her and Meg just can't stand each other. I mean, I'm sorry, if it had happened 2 years ago, then I might be like, well, she's telling this is what happened. That was her friend. But in the last 2 years, these two women have cussed each other out multiple
Yeah.
times on on social media. They done wrote songs about each other. I mean, they don't like each other. And the fact that this interview happened 3 months ago and she told the story, and in my opinion, she told the truth. And now 3 months later, all of a sudden, I don't remember, I don't know, and it's a whole nother conversation. Somebody got to that girl. That's my opinion. That's me. That's really me. That's me.
And well,
Because
when she moved, when Kelsey had to go back to Houston, they did let her wait a couple of weeks because she was like, she had to pack up her stuff. She literally moved to LA. So it wasn't like you get your overnight bag and you go. She
right.
moved here. And Megan did call and offer and said, I'll pay, if you find an apartment, I'll pay your rent for a year. So she did do that I guess, for her to go back to Houston. But yeah, you can tell they can't stand each other. And she was talking about how Meg was putting out diss tracks about her. And she was making certain statements, like she was pulling up in the interview. She said she had text messages and certain statements that were made on the internet that she didn't kept, of things that almost made it a little gray area on whether it was her or whether it was Tory, and she didn't appreciate that. She was like, you're not protecting me. You're letting people, your statements are making it worse. She told them she doesn't go out in public unless she has to. She said because she was in a Dollar Tree one time and somebody cornered her in the dollar store. She said people are literally trying to threaten her, attack her. She said when she has to do events, because she's an influencer. So I guess when she has to do events, she said she'll sit out there and she'll wait. She said, you can ask my husband. I have to sit in the car for like an hour. She said to even muster up the energy to be around people because people are so mean to her.
Well, I don't mean no harm, but Meg gets the same thing. Like, unfortunately, that's just people choose sides and they're toxic. They're toxic. I do remember a lot of that going on, and I do remember that. And I think again, I'm making no excuses for Meg, none, none, none. But I think part of her her being not clear in the beginning is because she wasn't going to press charges.
Yeah, that's what she
I
said.
think she didn't want to say she didn't do it because then it would pretty much, again, by process of elimination, and she had no intention of pressing charges in the beginning. And I think that she just wanted, again, she's young. I don't want to keep, but they're young. You got a bunch of young kids with a whole lot of money and not a whole lot of parental guidance. I mean, look, we know Meg didn't have a whole lot of parental guidance. Yes, her grandmother raised her, but she didn't have her mama or her daddy. Daddy was in jail. I don't know nothing about Tory, but they said they trauma bonded because I think Tory lost a family member or something like that. And the one thing you said that also makes me a little leery. And again, this is my opinion. It sounds like Meg is used to abuse
Mm.
because when the driver said this is what they do, it sounds like they have that back, or at least had, excuse me, that back and forth break up to make up, fight it out, knock down, drag down argument. They probably cuss each other out. That ain't the first time she told him his music wasn't shit. Like that's what they do. And the
Well,
other thing that makes
what she specifically said was the only reason why you ain't nobody, the only reason why anybody know you is because you was on the remix with Jack Harlow.
right,
That's what
right.
that was said. I was like,
And
wow.
and the other thing that made me feel like, unfortunately, is the fact that of her response. The fact that Kelsey was more upset than Meg was. And Meg's first instinct was to protect Tory. That says a lot. And again, I'm not making no excuses, but here's the thing. That says a lot about her mentality in this situation. And they are young, and it just sounds like, Meg doesn't respond to abuse in a way that is healthy. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. So that was the morning. So what do you? I mean, if you had to read the jury, how do you think the jury received that tape, hearing that audio?
I think you can't help but to look at it as it was the more authentic testimony. Just because her emotion, she seemed like like you had all this protection around. You had your husband, you had two attorneys. What you gonna sit up there and lie for? That's how I would have took it. Like, oh, okay, so this is when she told. And then to me, it made it lean more towards. Made me think, why are you changing your story now? Are you scared? Still scared? Like you were saying in
Somebody got to her.
know, because
Right.
she said she was scared in that video to the prosecutors, that she was scared, and they said, well, we'll talk off the record if you need any type of protection.
Mm. And a lot of people are saying in the chat that there's ties. Her husband has ties to J Prince, or ties to Meg's record label, and we know Meg and her record label. I said it earlier; they're beefing. So a lot of that allegedly, that there's some of that going on. Again, I ain't
Oh
going
wow.
down that rabbit hole because I haven't done the research. But allegedly, well, I know her husband is a music exec, but who he's connected to, and I haven't done the research, so I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole. Other YouTubers are doing the research. I'll check them out and hear the breakdown. But my opinion is that somebody got to her, whether it was through money or threat, and that's just my opinion. And it
Yeah.
was recent because for
And
her to do that interview three
this
months ago,
video, I think that this video undone all of the good that the cross did when they basically tried to say,
oh,
we ain't did nothing, we haven't pressured you. You ain't even talked to us. We ain't even thought about you for 2 years. We ain't did no connection at all. Now, if the prosecutor knew your husband is connected to the label or something like that, that might have been some different information the prosecutor could have shown, how, the effect, how it was affected or whatnot. That might have been something the prosecutor would have helped their case. But I'm telling you, the way the defense was able to kind of eliminate themselves and kind of make it seem like, I'm sure they told you that you were going to be the suspect because you had GSR on your hands. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why it gave that impression. Like by the time we had lunch, I was like, "Ooh, he crossed the mess out of her." And then this just undid everything because they were
it did
just
us right,
she
right.
did all the
Because it
talking.
showed, right. It showed that everything he said wasn't accurate.
She did all the
So
talking.
that was the
Just like, okay, they were like, "You need tissue." I mean, they might ask hearing questions, interject here and there. For the most part, she's like, "Let me hold on because I want to keep my timeline." I just want to make sure I'm accurate. She was pulling her phone up to try to find text messages and everything during this interview.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, I shouldn't say no way because there is a way, but in general statements, there's really no way that you walk away from this and don't put some validity on that interview. And like you said, you hearing them, her husband was there, her attorneys were there. Nobody was threatening her. Nobody was holding anything over her head. It was clear that they did not see her as a suspect at all. And this is 80 minutes that y'all sat through. So there was no editing, there was no splicing and dicing.
But
All right. So
the problem with that though is, as an attorney, I feel like the prosecutor, and this is what a lot of officers and prosecutors do. They have their mind and their eye fixed on one suspect, but they don't really eliminate any other potential ones, which causes probable cause. Which makes probable cause, because what came out was that okay, so we had a gun expert that came on the stand for the people, and we also had a DNA person that came on the stand. Now the gun expert, he did very well for the prosecution, because he basically was saying the difference between the audio. You could tell he almost eat, sleep, and drink this stuff. I mean, he was just like, no, that's not it. Came with his his model bullet and casing and all of that, and showing how it works when the bullet, and this is the case and how it falls off and all of that stuff. But
yeah, because
he
that's what I was going to ask you is about the DNA, because the DNA expert testified next, right, for the defense.
the DNA expert, the defense DNA was last before we left, and that was out of order, because the
Oh,
DNA, yeah, the prosecution still has not rested, but because their expert had to come today, and then the prosecutors had somebody that couldn't come till Monday, they did it out of order. So the prosecution still hasn't rested, but the defense has been able to start putting on their case.
okay, yeah, because I thought the prosecution must have rested if the defense was
Nope,
okay. That makes sense. See
nope,
what happened when you got people in the courtroom, when you got people on the inside.
nope, they didn't rest. But going to the DNA, well, let me finish up my thought on the gun. So when the
Oh,
gun
okay, okay.
so when the gun expert came, he was talking about the difference between the semi-automatic and the automatic, and the pressure it takes for the gun in order to shoot it. He is pretty much letting people know, like, ain't no, you can't just touch it a little bit. You got to intentionally shoot it, and it's gonna shoot one, back, release, shoot again, one, back, release, like that. The intent part. That's what his thing was. I don't think the defense crossed well on that. It wasn't much they can really do. It may not have been. You don't have to cross-examine everybody. That's how you decide to do it as your plan for your client. But I don't even know if that person should have been crossed, because it kind of was what it was, because the defense got up trying to make alternatives, and this guy was so solid in his stuff. He's like, no, 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 no. That's not how that works. No, 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 no. That's not how that works. So he was very good. But the DNA person came up and basically said, on the cartridge there was 4 different DNA samples, and they were mixed. So it was 4 different people. They know that one of them, it was at least one male. So however it mixes up, they're able to tell it's at least one male, because there's a Y chromosome. Same. And then on the handgun, it was 4 different, not necessarily the same as the ones on the cartridge. It was 4 different people DNA mixed up, but it was at least 2 males. And so the issue that I have with the prosecution is, when you took the samples of the GSR or whatever for the hands for Kelsey for the junk gunpowder, why didn't you take her DNA? Why did you only test Tory's instead of Kelsey's? You see, that's a hole. That's a big hole in your case. That's why I said, when you get so focused, prosecutors are so focused. They don't even think, like, on both sides. It's better to eliminate people so you don't have this empty chair. You know what I'm
The
saying? Like,
question
for them
mark,
to point
right? You
to.
might have question mark.
So it was just like, okay, so basically, Tory, when it came to the cartridge, he was excluded. Period. Like, yeah, he didn't touch the cartridge. When it came to the gun, he couldn't be excluded or included. So they couldn't exclude him, but they couldn't include him. So basically, not a prosecutor, but the defense can now say, in theory, there's no evidence he ever touched the gun, because there's no DNA. But y'all left this hole open. What about Kelsey? Because it may or may not have been a female that touched it. Because just because they can show that it's one male or 2 males, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's females, but it can be females that the other people are.
So let me ask the question. I can flip it and say the same thing. If the defense decided that their theory, alternate theory, was going to be that Kelsey did it, why didn't they test her DNA?
That's a
I
good
mean, could
question.
they? Can they?
That's a good question. Well, typically that stuff happens during investigations, and you don't really know until that's what the police are supposed to do,
Okay,
you know. So it
gotcha.
happens.
So the
I don't think
police dropped the
she would
ball on that one.
necessarily give up her DNA to me as a defense attorney, probably not.
Yeah, she
But
probably wouldn't volunteer. I wouldn't voluntarily give up
yeah,
my
I
DNA to
wouldn't
nobody.
either.
So.
Yeah, I don't even want to do DNA in me because I already know that they use that. People be thinking they finding their family, but you really putting yourself in a general bank, and they can use that.
Yeah, that's
Not
why I've never done it. Yeah, I've never done the DNA find your roots, all them dip. Nah, don't
yeah,
do that. Your
that's why.
DNA is in a database. Don't you play? Don't do it. Don't
And
you
the
do it?
feds use it all the time.
Yes,
Trust
they
me.
do.
They don't gotta just rely on prior criminals. They can use that as well. But yeah, so it's crazy. And Kelsey did say the reason why she hadn't come forward. She was like, because she thought she just wanted to be out of it, and she felt like she wasn't gonna charge them no way. So basically, she was ghosting the prosecutors when they was trying to talk to her before. And she said, "I said I'm gonna talk when the time is right, which is that trial." And so the time is right. And that's when she started asking, well, how does this work about, when I go to trial? Like, she was concerned about her protection when she talked to
Because they
when she
say she
talked to
showed
the
up with
prosecutor.
bodyguards.
And her husband sat right there. Like, I would, and they was kind of being rude. The paparazzi was outside talking about, yelling at her, calling her out her name, calling her sluts. They was doing all type of stuff. And her husband dang near followed some person to their car. Like, yeah, that's me, right? Like, you think you about to just be talking about mine?
We don't play
but
them
but
games around
yeah.
here.
So that's the big thing. I heard some people going out talking about. So it was a woman's fingerprint, a woman's DNA that was on a gun and the cartridge, but the prosecutor didn't even test it. But that's not true. They said they're not positive that it was a woman. They know for sure that there were some men that touched it. And so then the defense tried to come back and say, well, is there, with their expert, if someone owns a gun, they take the gun, they're holding it, they handle it, and they load it. He said, what's the probability that they won't have no DNA test on it? So the expert basically said that's very unlikely that you're not gonna find DNA if you're handling it, it's your personal gun, basically. And so of course, which came right to my head, prosecutor came back and was like, "Do you even know? Do y'all even know if that's his gun? You don't even know if he owns the gun. You don't even know if that was the first time. That could have been his security's gun. We don't know where the gun. That might have been the first time he ever touched that gun. We don't know. We don't even
Right.
know." And then my thing is, I'm surprised nobody talked about if you can clean a gun. Cause mind you, after the shooting, all them got in the car.
Right. Right.
They didn't
Right.
just go right to jail. They got in the car and drove until they got pulled over. So
And
did something
because
happen?
Meg played games with her version of the story, that we don't know how much time they had before the police even got possession of the gun. Because remember, at first it was I got glass in my foot. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot. It was chaotic and it was a lot. We don't know how much time they had before the police got that gun.
But we know that the driver, he didn't have any gunpowder, gunshot residue or nothing on his hands.
Yeah, the driver. So, and maybe I want to hear that. I mean, maybe I do, maybe I don't. But the driver certainly seems like he has something to add. Now, whether he would be a hostile witness, whether he would say anything, that's another conversation.
Right.
But he certainly has a story to tell.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. So it was
Mhm.
it was a mixture, like I said, back and forth.
I'll be right back, Pam. Go keep going. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, it was a mixture today, back and forth. The video, of course, was very, explosive, I guess, telling the whole entire story. But then you have the experts that came on. They got a little boring, like they always do. But then I think the prosecutor crossed the defense's expert very, very well. But it was the same type of cross that they always do. They always are talking about, you're an expert and you only do this for the defense, and you get paid $1 quadrillion to do this for the defense. So you go off and you do seminars and you try to solicit more business and you do all this stuff just for the defense, as if it affects their ability to do their job because they do it for the defense. And then the defense, eloquently brought out that this expert is also on the court appointed with is a court appointed approved with expert. So even the court appointed with the courts use him, but of course the prosecutors, they have LAPD and they have sheriffs. So they don't have to hire experts. They have it in-house to do that. So us defense attorneys, we have to hire experts and they don't do it for free. So
Right.
but they
Absolutely.
still but he still made it sound real good. Like they always do it. I promise you, in civil cases, when you get experts, and in criminal cases, they do the same thing. They try to make it look bad that you're only saying what you say for money. But the crazy part was, in this case, the defense expert and the prosecutor's expert said the same thing. They said it was 4 different DNA. Like, they said the exact same thing. It was just, I think the defense expert kind of made it muddy on whether it could have been a woman, and then made the hypothetical that if he basically owned the gun and handled it and all of that, there's pretty much no way that his DNA wouldn't be on there. So they kind of used him to try to establish that. But other than that, it wasn't even, I didn't understand why he was up there at first, because he corroborated the same thing. There was no disagreement. But then
Right.
the
So what? Right. So
defense
we saying
attorney
the
tried
same
to
thing.
get,
I just got paid a lot of money to say it.
I think he said $250 an hour. He been paid $6,000 so far.
Man.
And that was before trial. Like, he's
Man.
gonna have to testify. He didn't find out till yesterday or 2 days ago that he was even gonna have to testify. But the defense said that they on Friday they tried to get the prosecutors to just stipulate to his testimony, and they wouldn't do it. So that's why they had to have him come on the stand. Because I sure was wondering. I'm like, okay, what is he really offering? He's basically corroborating the same thing. They didn't say that it was any
They didn't
DNA.
want to. They wouldn't. Yeah, because
But
last
but
week was all. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
no, but I was gonna say, but the inconclusiveness of the DNA, because everybody wants to see DNA. Like, we all watch Law and Order and stuff. I think that's what I understand why they was probably pissed off at Kelsey, reneging the way she did, because the prosecutor heavily relied on Kelsey, clearly.
Right. 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 And I think I read this somewhere that we live in a DNA world because we have grown up watching CSI and Law and Order and this DNA, the DNA, the DNA, and that's not always the smoking gun. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's not all the end all be all of a case. And I remember when that evidence a few months ago when that evidence was presented, and I remember DJ Academics, who was a WAC 100. I think it was DJ. Anyway, it was one of them. Both of them get on my nerves. But they were like, his DNA wasn't even on it. He ain't do it. His DNA. And they were like, first of all, you weren't even supposed to know that information because where'd you get it from? And second of all, that's not what it is. That's not what the evidence is saying. The evidence isn't saying that inconclusively he did it, but it's not saying that a man didn't touch this stuff. It just anyway, but what you explained it. But I just remember when all that came out and people was like, see, Meg lying, see. And I was like, y'all just want this woman to just be, First of all, let me pause for the cause real quick. There's 200 people in the room. Shout out to 200 people in the room. Can everybody do me 2 favors? Can y'all please hit the like button? And if you are enjoying this commentary, y'all go on and buy Pam a cup of coffee. Y'all see she out in them streets. She been out all day. Her cash app is up there. It's $ Pam ESQ Pam Esquire. If y'all could please just tip y'all know how y'all tip the bartender down to the bar. She giving us some good tea. Y'all go on and tip her, please, and thank you. Because she don't have to do it. And I appreciate it. Like I said, she has her own YouTube channel. And she could be just, keeping all her information over there. So I appreciate her time and I appreciate that. So if y'all could tip her, I appreciate that. And hit that like button while you're here, please, and thank you. So what do you think we're gonna? I know you because you're going home this week, right?
No. I was gonna go home tomorrow, girl. Then I'm like, Monday the investigator coming. Maybe I should just stay.
Girl. Well,
I'm
listen, as
invested
long as you
now.
are there,
I'm
As long as you
invested
are there, I'm
now.
gonna get your commentary. But what do you think? What are we going to see next week? So you said the
So
investigator
on
is
Monday, the
testifying.
lead investigator is going to be on the stand. So I'm sure we're gonna get a lot more information. I can tell the defense is gonna. I can tell by them not taking DNA and no reports in some incidents and stuff like that they're going to poke holes in that investigation. They'll probably pull out like police protocols and how they were broken. They're probably going to show maybe some inconsistencies or something with this investigator, but whoever the head investigator was on this case. So yeah, it's about to be. I want to hear it, and then I want to stick around and see if Tory even testified. I'm just curious. I want to know.
Ooh, if Tory testified, ooh, that's going.
It
Who you talking about? Packed courthouse.
girl.
So is Meg still coming every day, or she just testified in that
She
case?
don't
She's not
come,
there.
and she never was really out. Like Tory comes out and he kind of kick it with us in the hallway, like But no, everybody that was testifying, they kind of left. If I was Tory, if I was Megan, I would want to hear what's going on. But no, she kind of testified and then she kept it moving. But I heard, she still got that other case, like you said, with her label that's coming up. So maybe she over
I
court.
think they go to
I
court
don't know.
Monday. Yeah, I think there's some sort of hearing on
Oh
Monday with her
wow.
record label. So she kind of got some stuff going on, child.
Yeah, she probably is over it at this point. But yeah, she just Megan, and this doesn't give anybody the right to shoot at nobody or do any of that. But she just seems like a not so nice person. Like that's what she
Mm-hmm.
comes
Well,
across. Like she just ain't.
she
She
doesn't have the
does.
best reputation. I mean, she don't have the people say that about her, and I don't know her. I don't know
Yeah,
her,
me
but
neither. I ain't
you
know her
know,
before this. I'm telling you, my son just was like, Meg's a liar. I'm like, what? So I literally went into this trial with no information. I learned this story as I'm giving it to you. I literally thank you
wow.
so much for the cash apps, y'all. They coming in. They coming in. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
thank y'all. See,
I really appreciate
my
y'all.
tribe. I love y'all.
Yeah,
Thank
I
y'all so
love
much.
y'all too. Thank you. But yeah, so I think they're trying to make at least people not really like Meg, maybe, and because you can't
Yeah.
really per se specifically bring up character. But I think that that's what they're trying to somewhat paint to the jury, because
And
honestly,
that's what it is.
she was
Yeah.
a good witness. She really was a good witness. But one of the things that Kelsey did say when she was on the stand, because they tried to insinuate about her sleeping with a bunch of people that she slept with, she said it was only one other person. I don't know if that make it any better, but she she, she
And
said,
listen, they young, and I know I keep saying that, but I have to just go back to when I was in my early 20s and we acted a fool and we didn't have no money. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can only imagine if I thought I had money, but I didn't. I was broke. I was flying to Miami every weekend, because I don't know if you remember, Pam, before 9/11, flights were cheap. And
Man, listen, yes.
we could fly from DC to Miami for less than $100 round trip. I would get a flight out after work on Friday. I would drive straight to the airport, and me and my friends would fly down to Miami, and we would get one of them last minute hotel deals, and we would stay at whatever hotel we could get on the strip. We would stay in nice hotels, but you could get a nice we would stay at the W for $150 a night. You divide that by 3 people, 4 people, because we ain't care, you know.
Yep.
We didn't care. We would have ourselves a good time. And so I can only imagine if I was a millionaire, you know what I'm saying, at that
But
time.
how she kind of said it, she's like how they ended up at Kylie Jenner's house, right? And that's another thing she said. She didn't want Kylie to be brought into this or whatnot. That was another thing that Kelsey mentioned. But even when she said that, she was like, yeah, I guess Kylie called Meg and was like, we're gonna have a gathering or whatever at my house. And so her and invited them to an EJ and they went to the house. And then I guess Meg allegedly got on FaceTime and she's the one that ended up inviting other people. Now which probably included Tory. It sounded like Meg was the one that actually had Tory come over there. But
Oh.
it was Charlie Beckham. Like
Uh, yeah, Odell Beckham was there, right?
I said Charlie Beckham, Lord, that's somebody from my area. Yes, Odell Beckham. It was his friend, and they named a couple. She said it was probably about 9 people. First she said 6, then she upped it to 9. So Kylie just randomly be like, "Hey, you want to come over and have pool parties and kick it?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." So she
That's
said
probably
that's
why
and they
Kylie was like, y'all ain't got to go home, but y'all got to get up out of here.
that's what she said. Kylie was like, when they came back the second time, obviously it became obviously Meg came because she didn't like Tory trying to stay there with Kylie. So when she goes in the house,
Yeah.
they started arguing, and then I guess Kylie told them to get up out of there, and that's what Quan, the driver, he went in after Megan. He went behind Megan when they went into the house, and so Quan allegedly seen this fight, this argument. It wasn't physical, but this argument, and Kylie
See,
was like,
Quan,
"Y'all,
I
y'all
want
can
to
take
talk to
all this
Quan.
ghetto." Listen, he said, I guess Kylie said, "Y'all can get this ghetto mess up out of my Hollywood Hills home."
She sure did. She said, y'all gonna get up out of Calabasas with this mess. I'm gonna tell you that. She said, I have met my black quota for the day. Y'all can go on now.
She said, "I was." Oh, but they did say that she said Kylie was there, and she said Kris Jenner's boyfriend or husband. So yeah,
Yeah,
that dude, like, why
Corey
was he
Gamble.
just there
Yeah,
kicking? Why was Corey just over there kicking it with the young people though?
I was wondering why he was just randomly there, girl. What? Because when I saw that they said that he might testify, I was like, why was he even there? And again, I don't think we need to, like, at this point, I don't care about that pool party. I'm sick of the pool party. We get it. We get it. We get it. The argument started there. Meg was mad, irritated. All y'all was drunk. We got it. I don't need to know. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to know nothing else. But
Yeah.
well, thank you, Pam. I'm gonna let you go. I know,
You're
like I said, I know you sitting in
welcome.
the car, child. You out in them LA streets, girl.
Yeah,
But
I'm about to go on this good
thank you. Get
mall.
you some rest this weekend. Regroup and child. Let me know Monday how
Girl.
you feeling. If you want to come back, we here.
Girl, I gotta go home and write a bunch of briefs that I should have been writing. I would have been writing all through the week. And I've been up here being nosy, watching this dog on trial. Now I gotta work
Yeah,
all
because you said
weekend.
you got a trial coming up, and you said something the other day about that. Girl.
I was like, I got a deposition on Monday. That's what was like kind of, but it's on Zoom. So I was like, okay, it starts at 9. That's really 6 o'clock here. So I could do this deposition and then have it on my phone, do it in the car. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this deposition and still be here. I
Lord,
said,
yeah, get you
girl.
some rest, and then you get up and you write them. You go on and write them briefs, honey.
Oh, I
Yes,
know.
Cindy. Chris sent Corey over there with the banana pudding, and he decided to hang out. She sent him over there to drop off some chicken or something, and he decided to hang out for a little while.
Oh my gosh, that's the first thing I said was that seems out of place. Why would Kris Jenner's boyfriend be over there? But I guess, I don't stay. I get out of rich people's business.
Listen, if it don't pay my bills, it ain't my business. Well, all
But
right. Well,
I'm
Pam,
being
I'm gonna let
real
you
nosy
go.
about this case, though. I'm being real nosy. I'm way invested.
Me
I
too.
feel like
Listen,
this
we
is my
all being
case.
nosy. That's why we all being nosy. That's why every day the YouTube get lit up because we all going live talking about it. People in the courtroom talking about it. We are all curious. This case has been lingering for two. And I think the biggest for me, the reason why I'm so intrigued by this case is I've believed Meg from the beginning. Do I think that she has made some missteps and bad decisions and lied about stuff? Yes. But ultimately, I believe her about the major part of it, which is he did it. I believe that. And
And
I
we
hate,
also have to hope the prosecutor ain't jacked this case up. That's kind of what I'm looking at, honestly,
I'm
right
kind of
now.
disappointed in the prosecution at this point. And again, I'm a novice and I'm not in the courtroom, but I'm a little disappointed in this. But I also see that, like you said, I think they put all of their eggs in a basket that broke, and now they kind of figuring some stuff out. But the other reason why I'm intrigued is because from the very beginning, I have been very frustrated, and for lack of a better word, just pissed off at how and why this turned on Meg the way it did. Her
Mm-hmm.
sex life is on trial. Is she a good friend or a bad friend? Okay, she's a bad friend. But again, it has nothing to do with what happened to her. And I don't understand why people are so vested in making Meg the bad guy in this when she's the one that got injured. And it because and so that's why I really want to see her vindicated, which it don't look like she's gonna get vindicated because we don't have a clear cut, yes, he did it. But I really just wanted her to be vindicated. And if I was wrong, I would have said, listen, y'all, I was wrong. But I really wanted to see that. And so that's just where my biggest frustration is.
And we know she got shot.
Right, we know that's
You
a
know,
fact. That's been
we know
proven.
she
They
got.
done put the
So it's
witness up
like
there. They done
that's
got the.
yep. So, but
You
yeah.
right, T. Jones. You've been on it the whole time. T. Jones said this case is the definition of misogyny. Absolutely,
Wow. Yeah.
absolutely.
But
Quick
what I
question.
can say is, looking in Tory's face, at first I think he came in with this whole different type of swag. I have some video I wanted to send you because I do have some video of him like walking out and all of that. If you want to put it on your page, but I tried not to do it because I was trying to get video when he was by, without, because you can't do it in the courtroom, so you got to wait till he's outside. And he always had his son. You know what I'm saying? So in every
Yeah,
video,
that whole him bringing his son is so crazy to me.
so I really didn't want to do that, but I'm like, okay, Joker, you gonna always have your son. I guess I'm gonna have to show people the videos when you have your son in them because you always have your son with you. But his family is very nice. They talk to you and stuff like that in the hallways. He's, he all right. But what I was gonna say is that I think it's reality is setting in. Is what it looks like to me. I've known enough defendants to know. At first, it was kind of like, yeah, you come in and you there looking clean. Now you can almost see like the deflating, almost like, dang,
Okay,
this really
the
might
body
be.
language is switching up.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Quick question, and then I'm gonna let
Sure.
you go. Miss Aquarius said, "Do you think that the neighbors who of the witness is? Do you know if the neighbor is going to testify?"
Well, the defense actually, I told you they made a blurb saying that there's a witness to the shooting. So I don't know if they're talking about the neighbor, if they're talking about, because remember the fight allegedly happened right after the shooting. So it would be in the same vicinity. So I don't
Okay.
know if that's the
Okay.
person they're talking about or who that's why I have to stick around to see, because they tell you people are gonna come, then they don't come, then you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm trying to. I told you, girl, that's why I'm so invested. I'm like, I want to see how this thing. Now, once they say, both sides rest and the defense rest, I can go home then because I can hear the verdict with everybody else. I ain't got. I don't like to sit. I
Exactly.
didn't like to sit in there with my own clients to hear the verdict. So I dang sure don't want to sit with somebody that ain't. But I can
You
go
ain't
hop
listen.
on a
I feel you
plane.
on that one. I feel you on that one. Okay, Pam, I'm gonna let you go, guys. I'm gonna hang back for a few minutes and I'll read some of you guys' comments and stuff like that. Pam, thank you so much again. I
You're
appreciate it,
welcome.
you guys. Make sure I have her YouTube channel pinned. Y'all make sure y'all go over there and y'all check Pam out and subscribe to her channel. She is always bringing good content over on her channel. So you guys, thank you so much. And I appreciate you so much. And again, hopefully we'll be talking on Monday.
Of course.
But
Thank you.
get
And
you
thank
some
you to
rest.
everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for the cash apps. I'm going to go get me something to eat with your cash apps.
There it is.
And
Go on and get you some dinner.
I
Get you a
appreciate you
cocktail
having
or a
me on.
mocktail, whatever you choose,
Girl, I
and
might
enjoy.
need
Kick
something
your feet up and
strong
relax.
now. Nah, I'm going to get something strong. Ain't going to be no mocktail. But I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Pam.
All right.
All right, you guys. So I've been seeing your comments. So I'm gonna just go through some of the comments. Da, 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 da. Am I alone in thinking that Kelsey don't owe Meg ish? So the way I look at it is this: I don't look at it as Kelsey owing Meg. I look at it as Kelsey telling the truth and somebody assaulting this woman being held accountable. You know, that's how I look at it. I mean, I understand that people have feelings and their feelings are hurt, but Marilyn said she might not owe anything, but I'm not covering for a man who assaulted me and threatened to shoot me. Right, because let's not forget, he, according to her own story, according to Kelsey's mouth, her words, he beat her up, yanked her hair out, punched her, drug her. I mean, it wasn't just Meg that night. This case, oh, I read that already. At this point, I just wanted to be over so they can go ahead and deport. Yeah, that's Abby. Abby in her cash chat, she was saying that for 2 years, child. Even if she wins, she wouldn't be vindicated. You're absolutely correct, T. Jones. Why is this case being treated as if Meg isn't allowed to tell her story? But again, I think part of that goes to the misogyny. From the very beginning, and I remember when this, and I'm gonna tell you, El Teddy, I don't know if he in the bushes, and El Teddy may or may not agree with what I'm getting ready to say, but I remember when this first happened, we had a whole back and forth. Y'all know how me and El Teddy get, child. We had a whole back and forth over on his channel about this case. So this has been a hot button from the very, very beginning, and people have been questioning Meg from the beginning. Even before she did the Gayle King interview, they have been questioning from the minute she said Tory did it. People have been trying to say she's lying. And I just don't. And it goes back to not believing Black women. This woman said, we know she was shot. And she said he did it. Why was people's immediate, and not everybody, y'all, but why were there so many people's immediate response to question her and say she was lying? This was before the Gayle King interview. This was before any of that. And I just, again, to me, that's the misogyny of it. We don't believe Black women. We don't believe women, but we damn sure don't believe Black women. Why does it matter if she didn't die? Breonna died, and it didn't make a difference. We shouldn't have to die to get justice. Unfortunately, I think Meg messed up when she did the Gayle King interview. Bossy Don Diva says, can't understand the misogyny part when the victim has been lying from day one, and the key witness is a female who isn't even on the victim's side. I think I kind of already explained that, so I don't want to feel like I'm just being redundant. That Meg's sex life is on trial to give probable cause that Kelsey may have done it because they were both sleeping with Tory. Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't do that. A man's sexual history wouldn't even be a concern. It wouldn't be an issue. It wouldn't be an issue. The treatment of Meg has been misogynistic. The song by Drake, the comments by academics, the victim, the witness being female doesn't have anything to do with it. Well, let's not forget about the baby. Let's not forget about all of these WAC 100, all of these people who have said she's lying, didn't happen. I mean, I even had people in my comments from my video last night telling me, come on, Really B, you know Kelsey did it. Come on, Really B, Tory didn't this and Tory didn't that. I've even had people arguing with me that the girl still had glass in her foot. Even after, listen, the doctor said it's a bullet. Can we at least not argue about that part anymore? Constant references to, okay, y'all are going back. Okay. Listen, if he walks on this, there'll be more people getting their arses kicked. Ellen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that the notifications didn't go out, y'all. In my opinion, minus Meg being pop out, Kelsey had the worst night. I mean, both of them had a bad night. That's why to me, it's not about Kelsey doing anything to protect Tory. It's about, to protect Meg. It's about what happened. You know what I'm saying? Meg's sexual history is relevant if they got into a fight due to Meg doing Tory behind Kelsey's back. It shows a history of beef between Meg and Kelsey, in my opinion. But that's not why. But again, they put her whole sexual history on trial, not just this situation. You know what I'm saying? All right. I'm almost caught up on the comments. They would have made it about a love triangle regardless if she lied. True. I believe Meg, however, she aided in the defense against her by lying. Where was her legal counsel early on? I get the feeling that Meg either A, didn't consult with counsel early on, or B, didn't listen to her counsel. Because I can't believe anybody told her that it was a good idea for her to go on Gayle King before the trial. It would be one thing if the DA had decided not to press charges, but the fact that there was a pending trial, I can't believe anybody in her camp said this is a good idea. Gayle King would have interviewed her after this. The same people that wanted to interview her last week before the trial started are going to want to interview her 2 weeks from now when the trial is over, win, lose, or draw. And so I can't believe that anybody in her camp said this is a good idea. And if they did, she need to fire them because it wasn't a good idea. I believe it's more than the case behind the scenes. It's hip hop politics. I agree, Miss Aquarius. I agree there's some politics going on. Meg didn't press charges to stay. Right. Meg never pressed charges. She said she had no intention of pressing charges. And matter of fact, she didn't get mad until Tory said he didn't do it. Tory's sex life with child as well. He's been really messing with 2 friends. Right, but nobody is, right, they're talking about, I mean, the fact that Tory, let's go back to, if you want to talk about somebody being on trial and their morals and their sex life, let's go back to Kylie Jenner's house. You slept with Kelsey, you're sleeping with Meg, and you're literally flirting with Kylie in front of both of them. You put them in a car to go home so you can hang back with Kylie because you was trying to hit. But nobody's talking about that. Nobody's bringing that up. Nobody's making an issue over the fact that this man had 2 women that he was sleeping with that were best friends, and he's trying to sleep with a 3rd woman who invited all of them to her house. I don't hear nobody talking about that. Yet we are raking Meg over the coals. And again, I'm not defending Meg. What she did was terrible. She's a horrible friend. But I don't hear nobody talking about Tory the same way that they're talking about Meg. Right, Meg did say that. She said, and she's explained why she lied. And again, a lot of women would have lied in that situation. If Tristan Thompson, hold on. I'm trying to get caught up on the comments, y'all. Because I want, I know we weren't taking a lot of the comments while Pam was talking. I didn't want to cut her off. If Tristan Thompson was Meg, Chloe was Tory. Child, that's too much thinking, Nikki. Tristan's sex life would definitely come up. What? Wait a minute. If Tristan was Meg, and Chloe was Tory, and Kelsey was Jordan, who the hell is Jordan? Who's Jordan? Nikki? I don't even know who these people are. I'm on the side of right. If a person is going to have to serve 20 years in jail, let it be the truth. Her sexual history was necessary to establish a pattern. Why do we need to? I don't see. That's the part I don't understand. Why did we need to establish a pattern? For what? I mean, I don't understand that. I don't understand what we needed to establish a pattern. Corey said Meg effed up by not saying that Tory shot her from the beginning. I agree with that. Now, that part, I agree with all of y'all on that. But again, that's why she should have not said anything, period. And I know how hard that is when people are talking about you and raking you over the coals and questioning your integrity. And I get it. I get it. I get it. But she should have shut up, period. I don't think it matters what she does. People are still going to be mad at her. R. Kelly got off once and he continued to do what he did. If Tory gets off, he'll assault someone else, hopefully. Well, he just did it. He just punched August Alsina and lied and said he won't even there. And then they had footage of him doing it. And then he was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I was there. Black women have to be perfect to be given the same grace we give white women and men. Facts on facts on facts. If they're bringing up Meg's sexual history, then they should bring up Tory's violent history. Facts on facts on facts. Okay. How does who she slept with outside of these 2 matter when she shot? Exactly. I just don't see it. Exactly. Really, Meg wasn't going to stand up for herself and press charges. Now Kelsey has to testify for you. That's nuts. That's not what this. I'm what I guess I can separate my emotions from right and wrong. I don't know. I don't know. Let's go down to the basics. Someone fired a gun. Someone was injured. So no one should no one have to answer for that. Let's take the people out. That's okay, Tracy. That's what I'm saying. If me and Abby are out somewhere and we're friends and we have a horrible night, the night from hell, and at the end of that night we are no longer friends because shit just went left. But during that night, Abby witnesses somebody commit a crime against me. That person gets arrested. This is not about me. This is about them committing a crime and being held accountable. So when I hear people say, well, Kelsey doesn't owe Meg anything, this is not about Meg. This is about a man losing his temper and shooting a gun at a woman. I don't understand why we're making this about whether Kelsey and Meg are friends, whether Kelsey likes Meg, whether Meg slept with her man. No. This is about a man committing an act of violence against a woman. Now, I believe the man did it. Now, if you don't believe the man did it, that's another conversation. But I believe he did it. And that's what it's about for me. So I hear what y'all are saying, and I understand what y'all are saying. Don't get me wrong. But from where I sit, I don't care. I don't care. Are we going to also address the baby? And I'm not addressing the baby at all. No. But that isn't a crime. Them women could have. What isn't a crime? I missed something. I don't know what she's saying isn't a crime. Okay. Kelsey isn't testifying. Okay, I just said that. Yes, T. Jones. Yep. Me and you agree. Kelsey was beat up by Tory and she is protecting him. That absolutely should bring up Tory's violent history. That would actually be relevant. I agree. Oh, Jordan Woods, child. Nikki, you want me to think too hard. Jordan Woods. But again, none of that would matter to me. It's about the assault. I can't think that hard about if this person was this person, this person. I don't care about none of that. It's about the assault. You already know Kylie, baby daddy, charging her up about this situation. I don't know nothing. Are we going to address the fact that the baby and Ben? No, I'm not, Xavier. I'm not. Because first of all, Ben Simmons said that ain't true, and I don't believe nothing that the baby ass say. So, no, I'm not addressing that. The character of the victim can be assaulted, not the defendant. She was taking. Oh, she was okay. Y'all explain to me who Jordan is. Okay, I forgot all about that situation. That's why I know what she was talking about. They are making it about her. Okay, I don't get it. Why these women giving Tory the time of day? Well, listen, I think we can all go through our Rolodex of past entanglements and probably question our judgment in that moment. I know I can. I'm just saying. Xavier, don't go anywhere. I got something to tell you before I get off of here. Abby said they're going to jail if I don't get them first. And that's right. See, and I know that. That's why Abby my ride or die, because I already know Abby. Listen, the fact, and even that night, Kelsey was riding for Meg. Even after she found out. I want that to be clear too. Even after she found out that Meg had slept with Tory, she was still ride or die for her friend. The fact that these two ladies were fighting due to the fact that Meg slept with Tory behind her, I don't bring up Meg's told say who they both the pounds that they were both shared. I still don't. I don't have a problem with them bringing up the story about why there was a tension that night. I have a problem with none of that. I just don't think it's relevant about anybody else that Meg was dealing with. I didn't understand that. You got to understand why the case is going the way it is. That's all I'm saying. Not that I agree with it. Okay. And all of this wacko logic people use to argue this is the same logic some of these weirdos use to sit on juries. Y'all better serve jury duty. You sure better. When you get that summons, stop trying to get out of going to jury duty. The baby won his case today. I don't know what case it was. Oh, I don't know. I have to go look that up. I don't know what case he won. I know. And how is Meg trifling? They were all sleeping with each other. I'm convinced people enjoy focusing on the mess instead of assaults that took place. Meg is not on trial. Tory is, and everyone keeps trying to put exactly. They probably ruled that they couldn't bring up his violent history. A lot of times they can't bring up prior acts unless the door gets open. So, they can't bring up the August Alsina case. They can't. First of all, the case hasn't even been litigated, so they can't bring that case up. They probably tried to, and that probably was ruled out. I don't know that to be a fact, but that's what I think. If Tory shot Meg, it absolutely should be punished, but where's the proof? That's all I'm saying. The proof, see, that's what okay, Bossy, that's what we're right back to the beginning. The proof is that Meg said he did it. And I believe her. Like, Meg said he did it. Kelsey said he did it, because I believe Kelsey. Kelsey said he did it. Between him and Kelsey, one of them did it because that's who had they were only the two there, and they were the only two that had that gunpowder on their hand. I mean, I ain't say it was on their hands, but they had the GSR. One of them did it. So you're saying that you think Kelsey did it? Okay. Yeah. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. The baby has no correct child. I don't care about what the baby's saying. Some people just don't like Meg for whatever reason and will find any reason to make it her fault. Exactly. Meg played herself when she goes to Kelsey immediately after. This could have ended back then if Meg picked up her phone. The burden of proof is on the prosecution, not the defense. So it's okay for Kelsey to lie because Meg ain't answer the phone. That don't make no damn sense. It has also been established they have crappy ass taste in men. Well, it said that women are seriously trying to find a way to make this man innocent. It really saddens me how many women, especially black women, are bending over backwards to try to excuse and defend this man. It's crazy to me that proof is needed. The victim said he did it. Facts on facts on facts. She doesn't like Kelsey or Tory. Why would she protect them either? Victim testimony is considered evidence. That's what I meant about why they acting like Meg isn't. Oh, okay. I got you. So that's what you meant when you were like, well, why they acting like Meg ain't telling her story? Got you. No one said anything about the fact that he was shooting dice in the hood. No one said he deserved to die because of where he was or what he was doing. I wonder where the narrative would be if he unalived her. They would probably still, they would. Megan is lying, stop down in that black man just trolling. Kenneth, I'm not surprised, honestly. Okay, so I caught up to the comments, you guys. Xavier, I wanted to let you know because you've been one of the people that have been wanting me to review Riches, and you are also a faithful follower, and I know you come over to TSF. So I wanted to let you know, well, not everybody know, but I definitely wanted Xavier to know. TSF is going to review Riches. So we're going to be, I think we might start this Sunday with episode 1. So make sure you join us over there, Xavier, for Riches. And anybody else that's enjoying Riches, we're going to be reviewing Riches over on the TSF Entertainment channel. We do Power, Bel Air. Like I said, we're going to be doing Riches. We do true crime over there. So I know Xavier, I know he would be excited to see that. Yeah, the Power trailer dropped. So BMF, which I think we're going to review BMF. We didn't do season 1, but I think we're going to do BMF season 2. That starts in January. And then that's going to take us right into Power Book 2, season 3. Is it season 3 or season 4, Xavier? Season 3, I think. That starts in March. So TSF Entertainment is back, y'all. We got some content. So we're going to do Riches. Riches will probably take us through January, like, late December, early January. And then BMF and then Power Book 3. So, and Bel Air comes back in February, so we're gonna be doing Bel Air as well. So we got some stuff going on over there, you guys. Some stuff going over there. Be warned, you may be triggered by riches. Oh Lord, Abby gonna be triggered. I'm only on. I'm actually getting ready to watch episode 4. When I get off of here, I'm gonna watch. Okay, it's 119 likes. Can we get up? It's 147 people in the room. Please hit the like button while you are here. So I just want to let you guys know that. But with that being said, y'all still talking, child. Y'all can do this all day in the chat, child. I know that's right, Nikki. Nikki said, I'm from Chicago and I love R. Kelly, but he did it. Girl, I'm with you. All right, you guys. I will be back tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to do a tribe meeting tomorrow or if we're just going to do... I want to talk to y'all about... I got a quick drop to give y'all tomorrow. Well, I mean, not a quick drop, a quick chat. I think we're going to do it tomorrow. It depends on when I get home. I got some stuff to do tomorrow. But it depends on when I get home. But remember last week when we talked about Tasha K and La Truth and the wife and the husband and how she was coming after the wife and she was defending the husband? Anybody in here remember that conversation we had with about Tasha K and Mr. La Truth and Mrs. La Truth, and she was over to the Bigo and all that other stuff? Y'all remember, anybody remember that? Anybody remember that? Baby, well, Tasha K interviewed Mr. La Truth. And let's just say by the end of that interview, she is singing a different tune. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it, child. She's singing a different tune. We're going to talk about it. All right, y'all. Enjoy y'all evening. I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to watch Riches. I think I'm going to watch episode 4 of Riches. I got to finish up Blood and Water. I think I have 2 more episodes of Blood and Water, and I'll be done with Blood and Water. Ooh, that's so good. Ooh, Blood and Water. This season is way better than last season. Season 2, I wasn't crazy about. But season 3, woo-wee. And I got to get caught up on Real Housewives of Miami, child. Got a lot to do, but I'm going to chill out for the rest of tonight. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye.